The scorching midday sun burned over the savanna. Ethan drove his old Jeep along the dusty road when suddenly he heard a strange sound. It wasn't a roar, nor a bark. It was a thin, desperate squeak that made his chest tighten. He stopped the engine and walked toward the sound. At first, it seemed like an echo or just the wind. But then he saw a pit carved out by the rains. Inside, a little zebra was struggling. Her legs were stuck in the clay, and she couldn't get out. Above, vultures were already circling. Ethan wanted to rush down, but then he noticed movement. A little farther away, in the shade of an acacia, stood a giraffe, motionless. He wasn't running, he wasn't hiding, he was just waiting. His huge eyes were fixed downward, on the place where the baby struggled. Ethan froze. Before him was a scene few ever witness. The giraffe hadn't abandoned her. He seemed to be guarding her until the very end. Gathering his thoughts, Ethan pulled a rope from the Jeep. He dropped to his knees, tied a loop, and carefully lowered it down. The little zebra thrashed in fear. But then the giraffe struck the ground with his hoof, a sharp, powerful sound. Ethan understood it was a sign. Don't be afraid. Do it. He gripped the rope with both hands and began to pull. The earth crumbled, the clay tore, his hands burned, but he didn't stop. The small body resisted, then suddenly broke free from the trap. The zebra collapsed onto the grass, trembling and gasping for breath. The giraffe immediately bent down to her. He gently touched her back with his enormous head. She pressed against him, and in that single movement was everything: fear, relief, and love. Ethan sat on the hot ground, wiping the sweat from his forehead. Then he felt a gaze. The giraffe was staring straight at him, and it wasn't the gaze of a wild beast. It was a look filled with gratitude, a silent, "Thank you." Then the parent and child slowly walked away into the savanna. Their silhouettes melted into the golden grass, and Ethan remained seated, realizing he would never forget this day. Sometimes help doesn't come from people. Sometimes it's the animals who call us when they need hope. The zebra took her first uncertain steps. Her legs trembled, as if every bone still remembered the prison of clay. The giraffe walked beside her, gently nudging her forward with his long neck, as if saying, "You can do it." Ethan watched, and it seemed to him he was seeing not just animals but a real family, bound by an invisible force. But danger hadn't vanished. High in the sky, vultures still circled, their shadows sliding across the grass. The giraffe suddenly lifted his head, and with a single powerful movement of his neck, he drove them away. Ethan realized nature can be cruel, but it also holds another side: protection, loyalty, and love. He returned to the Jeep, grabbed a can of water, and carefully placed a bowl on the ground. The little zebra hesitated at first, but then, looking at the calm giraffe, stepped forward and began to drink. Ethan felt a strange warmth spread through his chest, as if he had become part of this family, if only for a brief moment. The sun was sinking toward the horizon, painting the savanna red and gold. Ethan sat on the hood of the Jeep, watching as the giraffe and his baby slowly disappeared into the tall grass. Every step they took was a symbol of life, a victory over despair. His heart beat in rhythm with their steps. When their silhouettes finally faded into the distance, Ethan was left alone, listening to the silence of the savanna. But in that silence, there was something new, an echo of trust, gratitude, and hope. He knew this day had changed him. Because sometimes the strongest stories are born where the wild meets the human heart.